welcome to the video! Welcome! So today we're going to be looking at Reddit, Am I the A-hole? I thought we'd do something a little different for the holiday season. You know, it can be a bit of a tough time, tensions can run high, families can conflict and come together, people have never seen each other before, people can act crazy, and because it can be a little bit of a difficult time, I want to look at other people having a difficult time so that I feel better about myself. So let's dive into Reddit, Am I the A-hole? This also always starts some interesting discussion down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on each story. Let's begin. I'm gonna see if I can find some Christmassy themed ones, or just people having a bad time. Okay, this is the first story. It's called, Am I the asshole for refusing to make lasagna for Christmas after my mother-in-law did last year? MIL, mother-in-law. I, 30 female, have been together with my husband Michael, 31 male, for 7 years. Married for 3 and dating for 4. My mother-in-law, 58, has always hosted Christmas ever since I've known him. Oh, how progressive. I've always made lasagna for Christmas and other special occasions. I'm essentially the family lasagna maker, and I honestly don't really mind since I love to cook and bake. However, last year, my mother-in-law decided to make lasagna based off what she saw me doing when she was at my house, and a recipe she got off the internet. I was surprised that she prepared a pan of her own, but I didn't say anything, and even got a small piece. Oh, that's nice. It sounds like she liked your lasagna and wanted to do it herself. That's nice. So far, this is normal. This is wholesome. I can't wait for it to go off the rails completely. It did not taste good, and it was barely touched, was mine had always half gone near the end of the dinner. That infuriated my mother-in-law. Uh-oh, this is where it goes off the rails. Got some tension. And she wound up doing a rant about how everyone loves me more than her and tried to throw my lasagna in the trash. That seems a little excessive. I say tried because it mainly ended up on the floor. Michael and I quickly left after that, and my mother-in-law has not apologized for it since. You know, Christmas is... I want to have empathy for the mother-in-law because Christmas is it's a tough time for some people. But, like, it's not healthy. It's not healthy to compare like this. It's not healthy. Not a healthy way to deal with it. You know, maybe do the adult thing. Talk like adults. Or, you know, keep throwing it all on the floor. I don't care. Yesterday she called me to confirm what I was making for Christmas this year. And on her list of things I should make was lasagna. I politely said I wasn't going to make lasagna due to last year's incident, and I'd be happy to make anything else. My mother-in-law wasn't as polite and called me vindictive for refusing to make the lasagna over a small mistake. I mean, if she hasn't apologized, I just refused again, and weird sentence structure. I just refused again, and it made my mother-in-law angrier. So she told me that unless I show up with the... Let's try that one again. I I just refused again, and it made my mother-in-law angrier. So she told me that unless I show up with a lasagna in hand, she wouldn't let me be at the Christmas celebration. Okay, that's extreme. You know, this is extreme. Just talk. Just talk. Like, everything can be sorted by just talking. My husband says it's easier to just make the lasagna and keep the peace. I shouldn't hold my mother-in-law's mistake that she made out of anger against her. I mean, that part's true, but, like, she seems to realize it's a mistake, and yet she seems to also be escalating. I don't know. I don't understand. Word got to my sister-in-law and brother-in-law from my mother-in-law, and they're saying I should also make it, even if it's just half of what I usually make. Okay. Oh, that was a doozy. Christmas is always a season where tensions run high. Alright, let's look at the comments. Let's see what Reddit has to say. It's usually the most, like, normal thing or the most insane thing. It's very polarized. My husband says it's easier to make the lasagna to keep the peace. I shouldn't hold my I shouldn't hold my mother-in-law's mistake that she made out of anger against her. Sounds like he just volunteered to make the lasagna. Not the asshole. Yeah, you know what? That's a very valid point. Why not have other people make the lasagna? Why does she need to make the lasagna? Easier for who? Her? Because she doesn't have to make anything and can continue to just pretend nothing happened and not take any responsibility for her temper tantrum? That's the only person it sounds like it would be easier for. Why should the bad actor get it easy? If anyone should get an easy go of it, it should be the person who suffered because of her actions. Okay. We found it. We located the crazy. That's some loaded language there. I wouldn't say like it listen, if I made a lasagna and it ended up on the floor, yes, that would be upsetting, but that's not suffering. At the end of the day, it is just a lasagna. Why should the bad actor get it easy? Come on. This is spot on. The pretend nothing happened. My husband's dad and stepmom love to act and say the most outrageous disrespectful things and then pretend nothing happened, or expect us to show up to the holidays and pretend we are a Hallmark family. It's to the point where we skipped Thanksgiving this year and plan to skip Xmas. Just because on Reddit, I can't believe how many people have nightmare in-laws. That's true. I've heard in-law stories like personally from personal friends. In-laws sound insane. I'm sorry your husband doesn't have your back. He really should. I don't know if you could win this one if he doesn't have your back. But Petty Me would buy Stouffer's lasagna, I'm pretty sure that's a brand, and dump it on the counter when you get there. Actually, that's also a great idea. Like, at the end of the day, a lasagna's a lasagna. Like, give me the frozen shit. I don't care where the lasagna comes from. I only care that it ends up in my tummy. How could she get mad at that? How could she get mad at a frozen lasagna? I'm with this commenter. This is the best course of action, 100%. Just show up with the frozen one. Everyone wins. You don't have to make the lasagna. You kind of prove a vindictive point if you want to take a little jab. You're like, I got the lasagna, but I didn't make it. Probably still tastes better than yours. Well, maybe don't say that part out loud. Yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. Hard not the asshole. Whoa. You know, not the a-hole. Not the a-hole here. Not the a-hole. I'm wondering though, I do have a question. I'm wondering if she tried to seek an apology. Not that you should ever have to seek an apology, but I don't know if she tried opening up the avenue for an apology to come, or if she's just waiting. She's just there waiting at the phone, just expecting the mother-in-law to call with an apology, which she should. She should. Don't get it twisted. She should. She might need to see the consequences. Wow, it's crazy. Talking can solve everything. Isn't that insane? Okay, let's move on to the next story. Alright, this one's a doozy. The title caught my attention. Am I the asshole for asking my college classmate about her pubic hair? Just based on that title alone, yes. I can see this was posted 3 days ago. It was deemed not the a-hole. I wonder what happened. I'm so curious. The curiosity is absolutely killing me. How can you ask someone about their downstairs and, like, not be the asshole about it? Anyways, let's get into it. So last weekend at college, my roommate invited a bunch of people into our dorm, a mix of girls and guys, and we were all drinking. And somehow the conversation got to a point where one of the girls, who I know, we're not close friends, but we definitely had a friendly acquaintance relationship, at least until this incident, asked me if I was circumcised. Alright, so she's the one who took the first shot. I felt the question was invasive and personal, so I responded, "What's your pubic hair situation?" Trying to give her a taste of her own medicine so that she would see how it feels to be asked an invasive question about your private area. A good old King Solomon. You know, that's completely fair. You want to ask about my downstairs? Okay, I get to ask about yours. And my question was less personal than hers. It was about a styling decision, which is done of your own volition and easily changeable, as opposed to something you had no say in and have no way to change. And hopefully, realized she had overstepped the line. But instead, she just blushed and ran out of the dorm room. Oh, that's what makes you blush? Not asking about a man's pee-pee? That's what makes you go, ooh, that's too far, ooh, run out of the room, ooh. Now my roommate is mad at me and wants me to apologize to her, but I don't think I did anything wrong. If she doesn't like having me ask her questions about her private area, she shouldn't be asking me questions about mine. Was I in the wrong here? Was this guy the asshole? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm gonna go with a hard no. She took the first shot. She didn't have to ask about that. If this guy had come out of nowhere asking about her pubic hair situation, then yeah, definitely the asshole. But like, you know, it's just while we're on the subject. I'll tell you a secret if you tell me a secret. Yeah, it's only fair. I don't think that he should have to apologize. At the same time, having another healthy conversation of just like, hey, the reason I said that is because I didn't appreciate you asking, and now we're both embarrassed. Now we're both blushing. We're both running out of the room embarrassed. Actually, it would have been really fun if he had been the first one to run out of the room blushing. Let's see what the comments have to say. Not the asshole. She is the one who took the conversation in that direction. Ridiculous of her to then get upset when you play the same game. I mean, yeah, pretty straightforward. A good old King Solomon, a little eye for an eye. Not the asshole, although I am assuming her question was out of context. You could have easily embarrassed her without shooting back like that. A simple, I don't think that's any of your business would have had a much bigger effect, as she wouldn't have anything to try to turn herself into a victim with. Okay. You had me until the, like, self-victimization. But yeah, a simple, like, you don't need to know that also works. That also suffices. I honestly don't think she's using this to be seen as a victim. I just think it could be a bit of... Maybe it was a sore topic and now she's embarrassed that she asked you about that. That could be the very real possibility. We don't know. We don't know what's going on in her head. We're not mind readers. Unless... Yeah, I would have gone with maybe one day you'll find out, winky face. Okay. There it is. Don't apologize. She got a taste of her own medicine. But she wasn't asking about your shaboing boings, to be rude. Okay, I've never heard a penis referred to as a shaboing boing. Gonna have to add that to my repertoire. Don't apologize. She got a taste of her own medicine. But she wasn't asking about your shaboing boing, to be rude. She was trying to flirt, not the asshole. We don't know what was going through her head. Maybe that is how, like, women are just as bad about flirting as men are. She could have been like, she could have thought she was being cute. She could have thought that, she was throwing him a bone, like a little flirtatious, like, why don't you find out, winky face, like that comment there. That guy was picking it up. That guy was picking up what she was putting down. They were in a situation where it sounds like they were both consuming alcohol. Perhaps, perhaps she saw this party as a dating situation. So maybe she was just trying to, pick him up. That could be another reason why she ran out embarrassed, as she was just trying to, trying to flirt. That, oh my goodness, I would die if that happened to me. If I thought I was flirting with someone and they responded that way, I'd crumble up into a little ball. I would die. I wouldn't be... This is why you don't flirt. This is why you just don't go outside. You don't go to parties. What kind of flirting tactic is, hey, did your parents mutilate your penis? Listen. Women can be terrible at flirting. You see pickup artists, you see what they try on people, like, hey baby, you got some big bazongas. It's like, come on. That's our version of that for men. Equality! I've literally, in 40 plus years of my life, never witnessed someone running out of a room because they were sad, hurt, embarrassed, etc. Yet it happens in every Am I the Asshole story. Yeah, well, that's the thing, is like, who knows how many of these are just made the frick up or embellished in some sort of way. We only have one side of it, so, like, if I'm writing one of these and I want to make the person look extra guilty, I would also I'd add on to the end. And they ran out of the room crying and screaming and pissing and shitting and coming, and I'm not the asshole. Because that's only what a guilty conscience would do, is run out of the room. Gotta increase the drama. Gotta get those updates. Okay, next story. This one's got a lot of upvotes. Am I the asshole for refusing to go into another room so my fiance and the baby could sleep alone? Like, I don't see how that could be a big deal. Just once. If they're asking you every night, I think there's further issues than just, like, one night. I don't have babies, at least none that I know about. I think I would know. I'd know if I had babies. I know. Listen, I know I'm a hamster. That doesn't mean I hide the evidence, okay? I'm pretty sure I've never had a baby before. But I can see it as, like, a close, intimate time where you'd want to spend time with the baby. So let's see where this goes. My fiance, in quotations Jen, 29 female, just gave birth to our daughter 2 months ago. She strictly breastfeeds, so as you can imagine, she gets far less sleep than I do. I can imagine that that would keep you up most nights. During the day, I help with changing or holding her, but all feedings are up to Jen. The baby outright refuses a bottle. We have tried several times, but ultimately, we are both okay with this. Well, you can't force the baby to have a bottle if the baby refuses. You know, it's a baby. I don't even think it knows where it is. Anyways, I'm kind of an independent startup video game developer. Oh, good for you. I did make one video game 2 years ago, but it honestly wasn't that great. We love self-improvement. So while I do get revenue from it, it's definitely not much or even a livable wage. This time around, however, I'm working with 4 other people, and the game is turning out great. I also work 9 to 5. But after getting home, having dinner with my fiance, and looking after the baby for a while, I jump on and work on the game. Okay, so the game development is in his free time. Oh, brother, you do not have a lot of free time with a 9 to 5 and a newborn baby? Focusing on a newborn takes up your whole time by the sounds of it. For the past 2 to 3 nights, I have been up till 1 to 2 a.m. working on the game, and I have been ultra tired. I snore like a maniac when I'm tired. It's super embarrassing because I truly sound like a Mack truck. But yesterday, the baby had her 2 month shots and she was so fussy. Cried way more than normal. It was super hard for my fiance to get her to sleep. I finally went to bed around 2 a.m. and my fiance immediately asked me to sleep on the couch so I wouldn't wake the baby up with my snoring. I said no. I was so tired and the couch is not comfortable at all. I had to work early. I wanted to sleep. She didn't fight it, but she called me a quote unquote fucking prick and walked out of the room with the baby. I woke up this morning with the baby. Wait, you let her like go sleep on the couch? You let her sleep on the couch? Okay, I see. I'm getting some, as an empath, I'm getting some asshole vibes from this one. I woke up this morning to the baby in the crib in the nursery. My fiance is asleep on the floor with no pillows and blankets. She still won't talk to me. Yeah, that's because you let her go sleep on the floor instead of use. If you are planning to stay up really late most nights to like work on your game with a newborn, why don't you set yourself up a little cot or air mattress? I don't want him to stop working on his game, but like it also he's got a lot of things cooking at the same time. He's got to either put the game to the back burner for a little bit until the baby is a little older, or set up a cot in a different room. Sleep on the couch. Yeah, you're the asshole. Jeez Louise. Feel bad for this lady. She's up every night. Husband snoring like a Mack truck, his words. Baby's crying. Baby's permanently latched to her titty as well. It's just not a good situation. Oh my goodness, I'm excited for the comments for this. They're just gonna tear into him. There's no edit here, so I don't know. Maybe he saw how this went and he decided to never log on again, and honestly, I don't blame him. You're the asshole, and anyone who voted you not the asshole. Whoa, okay. Strangers taking pot shots here. Because being too new stressed out parent is also an asshole. I don't understand that one. Because being too new stressed out parent is also an asshole. I don't know. We're gonna need our best linguists on this one. Do they know what combo is required for a breastfeeding mother to keep and maintain a milk supply? Sleep, not stress, proper diet, and water. Oh, they're thinking about the milk. The man knows he snores and snores hard. He willingly. Oh my goodness. For a Redditor, like, I feel like 3 separate times I could have gone in with asterisk correction, therefore I win. but I agree, so I'm not gonna do that. He willingly stayed awake to work on a video game that is not his primary income until 2 a.m., knowing he needed to be up for his full-time primary job early in the morning. He made that choice, willingly. He did. He is making the choice to sacrifice more sleep, and it sounds like he's also making the choice to sacrifice his wife and newborn baby's sleep too. Like, have you ever been around noisy snorers before? I went camping a ton. A ton. I was in Scouts for 10 years. I would go camping a lot. It was pretty hit or miss with like how well I would sleep, and it wasn't because I was in a new bed in the middle of the woods. It's because some people snore really loud. Like the kind of snore you can hear through earplugs and feel rumbling in the ground like an earthquake. There's no just wear earplugs with this kind of snore. Also, she probably needs to listen for the baby. While he canoe, his daughter got shots and was in a fussy mood. His wife struggled to get the baby down once already. So he goes in the room and starts snoring and then wakes the baby and refuses to leave when asked because he's tired. Aw, boo hoo, poor you. Your wife has no choice to be up with the baby, feed the baby, etc. You had a choice to go to bed early and you chose not to. That aside, are you aware of the percent of accidents, baby drops, heightened risk of PPA/PPD that a new mother goes through when sleep deprived? What is PPA? PPD? PPA meaning power purchase agreement. I guess when you're tired, maybe you agree to some things you shouldn't. PPA slash let's try PPD. Oh, postpartum depression. PPD. And postpartum anxiety, PPA. Okay, that makes a lot more sense than like whatever the frick I said previously, power purchase agreement. Bro, I got PPA without even having a baby from lack of sleep. Like, come on, this must be hell. Oh my goodness, someone coming in underneath this comment with a can confirm just how easy it is to drop the baby when sleep deprived. Retro. I always wondered if I was dropped as a child. Like, my parents say I haven't been dropped as a child, but like, can you. Maybe they're just trying to, like, cover their tracks. You know those electronic babies they used to give you in high schools and stuff? Or maybe you might have just had the potato sack or the flour sack. We had electronic babies. They were way too fancy for that school, for that public school. They were programmed to cry. You had to, like, feed them, you had to burp them, you had to change their freaking little diapers, and we had to take them home for, like, a whole night. And I had it in its fake little baby carrier, and my dad walks up to me, and he's like, "Oh, is this for a school project?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then it starts fucking crying. My dad was like, "Oh, it's okay, I got this," and he picks up the carrier, and he starts shaking it violently back and forth, and he was like, "This is what I used to do to soothe you and get you to go to sleep." And the electronic baby starts screeching. It starts screaming. I'm like, no, no, please put it down. My baby, my baby. I'm like, you know what? That explains a lot. Like, no joke, he was swinging it. And I was telling him, like, no, please, no, it's crying worse. And he just starts swinging it harder. I'm like, you better not have done this to me. This better be one big joke. Anyways, this thing sucked. I went back the next day and the teacher was like, "Wow, your baby cried 14 times. You must have got the worst programming." I was like, "Oh, great. Yeah. Worst programming and zero sleep." I think, that's better than any birth control. Give teenagers electronic babies for a night and give them the worst programming. Those things will keep you up. That's the best birth control. That was the day where I was like, I can't handle this. I can't do this. Another comment. You know what's less comfortable than the couch? You gonna say the floor? You gonna say a shot to the head? What are you gonna say? What's less comfortable than the couch? Enlighten me. Chronic sleep deprivation from a baby using you as the personal milk machine every 90 to 120 minutes for months at a time. Woo! And the overwhelming pressure of being solely responsible for keeping a fussy baby alive with your boobs while you come down from the biggest hormone shift a person can experience in their lives. Jeez Louise. Like, you might think it's a little mean for her to have called him a fucking prick, but like, I have thought way worse with people just like opening my door, sometimes even just walking past my door at the wrong hour of night when I can't sleep. I hear someone up and I'm like, you fucking, you there, you. Like, I feel like if I was the mother in that situation, not to incriminate myself, but like, I can see me becoming actionable. I'm motivated. Not saying I'd ever kill a man, but that would drive me close. Hats off to her for keeping it civil in this situation and just, using her language instead of. I would have punched him. I would have kicked him in the groin and been like, "We're never having another baby again." You're the asshole. You know that your fiance is sleep deprived and breastfeeding, so she needs to be healthy and rested, and yet you displaced her. and your newborn at 2 a.m. because you didn't want to sleep on the couch? That was incredibly selfish. Your fiance slept on the floor with no pillow or blanket. Are you always this selfish? This is the part where the Reddit comments start to like try to read into the person's life. Your baby needs sleep. Your fiance needs sleep. I don't feel badly for you being tired when you choose to game until 2 a.m. Okay, there's a difference between choosing to game and like working on a personal project that is a video game. That being said, I can imagine becoming a new father, you'd have to sacrifice a lot of hobbies and pick them up later. You owe her a massive apology. You do owe her an apology. And, you owe her, like, if you're gonna keep doing that, you owe her to go, like, sleep on the couch. Set up a cot! Set up a comfy little air mattress. Put that on the floor. I've solved your problem. Get a camping mattress for nights like that. There you go. Problem solved. I solved this. You're the asshole. Has it ever occurred to you that you're looking at everything wrong? Don't look at your actions as helping with the baby or looking after the baby for a while. This is your baby, too. It's not just your fiance's baby. And you're not just a part time helper. Give her a break. Do more with your baby. Enjoy these beautiful moments because they go by so fast. I heard that it's more difficult for new fathers to become attached to their children. Don't know how true that is. Please get tested for sleep apnea as well as finding out what can help you with the loud snoring. Get an air mattress or something to sleep on when your snoring is too disruptive. That's the situation that solves everything. That's it. Just sleep on an air mattress. Just get a camping mattress or something. Like my best friend's parents, one of them is a loud snorer, so they move beds whenever it starts happening. That sounds like sometimes the only solution. What a doozy. Definitely an asshole. Holy moly. Why'd he post this? Does this guy have like a, does he have, you think he's got like a little humiliation kink? Because this is humiliating on his end. There I am trying to read too far into their lives. Let's go to the next story. Hey, we got another baby story. What do assholes and babies have in common? Reddit. Apparently. Am I the asshole for not taking the baby as soon as I was asked? Our daughter is 7 weeks old. My wife is a full-time SAHM. SAHM, is that a stay-at-home mom? Oh my goodness, I'm so smart at figuring out acronyms. Both of us want this until our daughter is at least 5, starts school, and can openly communicate with us. I work full-time making $25 an hour, and while the pay is good, I've been looking for something a bit better, just so we have more fun money. Basically, I get home from work at 3 p.m. and she asks me to take the baby. As soon as she asked though, I got a call that I suspected was from an interview, so I said, "Hold on a second," and took the call. It was an interviewer, and he wanted to do an over-the-phone interview and asked if it was a good time. I said yes. About 40 minutes later, I go back in and my wife is cooking dinner with the baby strapped to her chest. I said I could take the baby now and she said, "Looks like I've got it," and dismisses me completely. She then turns off the stove. Dinner was done. And goes into the bathroom with the baby and takes a shower with the baby. I go in and say she's being ridiculous and that I had to take a phone call, and she snapped. She said, "I take phone calls while holding the baby all the fucking time. I cook, I clean, I shower, I shit, I shave while holding the baby. Your excuse is pathetic." Am I the asshole for not taking the baby immediately? And there's an edit here too. This was posted a couple days ago. I can see that the verdict has already been asshole, so it's been deemed that this guy is the asshole by Reddit. Usually these edits can get a bit defensive. We'll see. We'll see if he tries to defend his actions. I think he should have taken the baby, honestly. I don't think it would have been difficult for him to take the baby and also take the phone call, because that's just part of being like a new parent, is being able to juggle a baby in one hand and juggle life with the other. She's probably so tired. Her full-time job is like taking care of the baby. She just wanted a break to cook dinner. Just give her a break. Just hold the baby while taking the phone call. Okay, here's the edit. I don't know what ETA stands for on this godforsaken website. Our daughter just had her vaccinations. Oh, another baby that was just vaccinated. You think this was the same couple? Just one guy like telling all of his baby stories, just letting loose that he is like the most like careless parent when it comes to giving his wife a break. They're not the same user, though. I don't know, I think this is just a coincidence. Our daughter just had her vaccinations. She's fussy. Putting her down in her crib would have led to screaming because she was already unsettled, so my wife would have just grabbed her back out anyhow. Fussy baby couldn't have just been put down in the crib. Understandable. That was just some more info. That wasn't in defense. That wasn't in my defense. It isn't about just taking the baby when asked. It is that you failed to communicate or be considerate. You got a random phone call. You had to take it, that's fine. They asked if you were free. Well, you weren't really free because you just agreed to take a baby, but you could have certainly asked them to hold for a moment and gone and communicated with your wife. Wow, so much of this can just be solved by communicating. Crazy. Could have just said, they want to do an interview now, so now I can't take the baby. Simple as that. Simple as that. And if she said, no, you take the baby now, if she insisted, you could have just been like, you could have told the interviewer to call back another time, or, hear me out, do the interview with little baby babbling in your hands. Like, that's gotta get you brownie points, right? Right? Shows you're responsible, right? If I was an interviewer and I was like, wow, this guy can juggle work and a baby, that's crazy. Hire this man. And then after being gone for 40 minutes and seeing she is upset, you follow her to the bathroom and tell her she's being ridiculous. Dude, you left her when you said you would help for 40 minutes with zero consideration or communication. And she is the ridiculous one? Yeah, you just gotta take the L at that point. Just be like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. You're the asshole. It wasn't a good time. It was time for you to give your wife a break so she can pee or shower or whatever the frick she hasn't been able to do with a 7-week-old on her all day. And if she's a stay-at-home mom, she's doing the night shifts alone too, I bet. Your interviewer would have been happy to arrange a better time. Your family is more important. Well, that's why they call. That's why they call to arrange a time. She's also correct. It is pathetic. Weaponized incompetence and utter lack of care for your PP wife is pathetic. What is a PP wife? Oh, look the acronym. It's capital P, capital P. Your PP wife. What the frick is a PP wife? And the baby is still in the eat/poop/sleep phase, so you definitely could have handled both the baby and the call. Yeah, I don't see what the big deal is, just having the baby there, even if it's being a little fussy. Sounds like this guy is good at ignoring his wife, so sounds like he would be good at ignoring his baby as well. Got him. That'll show you, Redditor. Soft, you're the asshole. I get that a job interview is important, and I also get that you wanted to be seen by the interviewer as accommodating. But a better way to handle this would have been to ask the interviewer to hold for a minute while you checked with your wife whether it is okay to proceed. Yeah, honestly, just communication. You had no idea how her day had gone and where she was at mentally/emotionally in that moment. And at the 7 weeks postpartum, oh, baby, postpartum! I get it. It's coming together. I need a dictionary for all these new acronyms I'm learning today. And at 7 weeks postpartum, she and your child should be your main priority. But not looping her in on what is going on, she had no idea what was so important about the call, and felt you were being dismissive of how her day was going. She was not that she was no doubt exhausted, touched out. Oh my goodness. Whenever I read Reddit posts, I feel foreign. I am but a Canadian. But reading words like touched out and PP wife and stuff, I'm like, this is a different language here. English is fricked up. She was no doubt exhausted, touched out, and at the end of her rope. And instead of giving her the respite she needed, unexpected, you walked in the door, you dismissed her and gave her 40 minutes to stew about it. FYI, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt on this, but the fact that she is a stay-at-home mom should only be relevant to the fact that she had been stuck at home all day. Does not entitle you to treat her as anything less than a full partner in household making decisions. He probably mentioned it for that reason, not to be like she's lesser than me, but to be like, here's the full story. She spent the whole day with the baby. At least, yeah, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt there, but it sounds like this would be solved with just communicating. But boy, tensions are high. See if we can find like a crazy comment. Oh, here we go. Changing vote to not the asshole, as I don't think his wife is an asshole either. So this guy probably started as a everyone sucks here, everyone's the asshole. While it wasn't a great time, I get it. You say yes to the interview. Your wife is choosing to hold the baby constantly. She's choosing to do all those things while holding the baby. There's literally no reason she can't put the baby in the crib. He responded to that already. It was fussy, they couldn't put it in the crib. A bouncy or something while she uses the bathroom or showers. It's only like, what did they say, 7 weeks? The baby's really young. Yeah, 7 weeks old. Like, I wouldn't want to put down the baby either. Just hold the baby. I get it, she wanted relief, and mothering a newborn is exhausting, but you weren't being unreasonable. And she could have put the child down to make dinner or shower if she wanted to as well. It sounds like she couldn't, though. That's the thing. That's the thing here, Redditor. I don't think you read the same story. It sounds like she couldn't put the baby down. The baby would start crying. Unless you want her to also ignore a crying baby. You're actively looking for a new job. It makes sense that you'd take the call and the interview. Also, to all those who I know are going to downvote me, yes, I have children and am a mother myself. Babies can be put down. Well, I can see why he added in, even if it makes him look like the asshole, I appreciate that he added in the baby just had its shots and thus was extra fussy. Edit, changed to not the assholes. I don't think his wife is an asshole here either. Interesting, so they must have thought the wife was the asshole initially. That's crazy. That's crazy. You don't know their baby at all. All a 7-week-old baby wants is to be held. They still can't even process being a separate human from their mom at that point. That's a good point. Every baby's different. Like, I was a chill baby, and it sounds like most of my baby life, I wasn't a fussy baby, unlike my brother who would just wah 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 wah, ooh, I'm a stupid little poo poo pee pee baby. Don't put this in the Alice, cut this out. But yeah, no, I didn't cry. Meanwhile, my brother was a crier. Every baby's a little bit different. Please practice empathy. Also, look up internal misogyny. Hitting the mother for choosing to hold the baby constantly is the exact type of overstepping of the boundaries that women who lack self and social awareness practice. I mean, they're kind of spitting though. Like it's not the mother's fault. That's why they had to direct fire elsewhere. That's why they had to change and edit their comment to be nobody sucks here. Nobody's the asshole. Even OP commented on this that the baby is colicky and just had shots. She would have screamed and thrown up. Damn. This guy's taken being the asshole on the chin. Phrasing. I can see in the heat of the moment how this happened, though. Like, yeah, he's a bit of an asshole for not communicating, but at the same time, you get home from a long day of work. He probably just wasn't thinking. Really, the asshole part was like following her into the bathroom and saying she was being ridiculous. That's the part I would focus in on and be like, that's you being an asshole. You weren't an asshole until you did that. Now you're being ridiculous. Now you're being stupid and silly. So I'm trying to branch out with content. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below if you want to see more of this. Thank you for watching.